Oh, where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Hello. Hello, hello, hello. So today we are talking about, let me get this recorded. Got it and got it. Hello, everyone. Today we are talking about visibility. Indulge me for a minute. Hello, is it me you're looking for? Those of you who are old enough to remember, I can't even remember his name. Lionel Richie. Yeah. How visible are we? And where are we visible? And is it to the right people? All very good questions. This is kind of building on last week's conversation about networking. Last week we were talking about the importance of knowing who is your audience, where do they hang out, how do you find them from a networking perspective? Well, it's pretty much a similar sort of thing in terms of visibility. Where do they hang out? Not purely from a networking perspective, but think about it from a socials perspective. Is your ideal audience a Facebook person? Are they more LinkedIn? Are they Insta? Are they TikTok? There are some other ones which I'm not that familiar with. If your ideal audience is a much younger person, I think Snapchat is really important. And I think there are another couple of ones that are more youth orientated. That is not where my demographic is. I don't know about them because I don't need to. And this is my point, because when you know who you're speaking to, you can be more strategic about where you put your content. When I ask people, who's your ideal audience? Oh, everyone needs to hear me. Everyone needs my message. Really? Well, yes, maybe everybody could hear your message, but would everybody take on board your message? Because if you're speaking to everybody, you're actually speaking to nobody in particular. And so it doesn't vibe with anyone in particular, and you're shooting into the wind. That is exhausting. Trying to keep up with all the socials, posting multiple times a day, you just can't do it. Particularly if you are a one-person band, a solopreneur. So again, I keep banging on about it. Who is your ideal audience? Because when you know who you're speaking to, you know about the language you're going to use, you know about the buzzwords, the key phrases, the SEO, if you will. Your visibility hangs on your ability to be able to speak their language. Because when you can speak somebody's thoughts back to them, immediately they go, she gets me. They understand me. Finally, somebody's got me. And that's when you impact your audience. That's when you connect both head and heart, which is what you're all about. You're all about making a difference. You're all about being mad, aren't you? Making a difference. So again, where do they hang out? What are the words that they're saying? Are they a TikTok person? In which case you're going to need to be energetic and vibrant and probably move around a lot. And it's not my space. I'll be honest, it's not my space. Insta, I can throw up some images. Most of my people are on Facebook and LinkedIn and now YouTube. This is where I play. This is where I feel I am most effective. And it's something that you test and measure. If you have multiple platforms, strategically put your content that fits that frame So Insta, we know, is primarily visual. It does reels. Haven't quite grasped those yet. It does reels. It does little videos. It does cameos. There are specific time lengths for cutoffs. They like it under a minute if you're doing a straight video live. Sorry, the lives you can do longer than that. So knowing the platform, knowing the parameters for the videos, because video is, I'll be honest, video is the way forward, particularly if you're a speaker. Still, images are fair enough. You can get some brilliant headshots. You can get some very good photos, stills of you in action. And if you haven't already checked out my Facebook page, I've been posting the photos that were taken at the book launch of we had a multi-author book launch last Sunday in Perth here in Western Australia. And we had a professional photographer in, and he took some phenomenal shots. Great. That captures you in time. And it's important to see you in action. The whole thing of how you move, your energy, the way you connect with your audience, which is done in video, in real time. Because if you remember, roughly 50% of how you convey your message is done visually. 40% is done vocally. That snapshot will literally be just that, a snapshot. And it won't have that same dynamic energy about it. So being visible on video is essential for you getting the most out of the algorithms, because that's where they push things. YouTube, I've often heard it described as YouTube University. Put your content up on YouTube. If there's something that you know how to do that other people don't, or you have a particular twist on something, pop it up on YouTube. YouTube Shorts are becoming quite popular. This is kind of where we're going today. Have a think about where you are visible. Which are the platforms? Where can you be consistent? If you have a community, have a day that you are consistently going live, like we are here with Hone Your Speaker Skills. If it's not a convenient time for the majority, put out a poll, which is what I'm intending to do tomorrow. Find out, test and measure what works for your audience. How are you going to get the message out there? How are you visible? Where are you visible? How consistently visible are you? Do you remember we were talking about planning and promotion before? Being strategic about where you invest your time. The content that you put out, bear in mind this can always be repurposed. Record it. Transcribe it. You have a blog there. You've got sound bites that you can then make into memes. Hello, Insta. All of these different ways that you can repurpose your content and be more visible. There are apps in the background that will help you to be consistent. You can plan your posts and have them come out at a consistent time every day. Then your community get to know when you're going to be there. Again, it's the consistent visibility. Tweak, test and measure. But these background things, these apps, these systems are very useful, particularly if you're a solopreneur. If you want to know more information about this, give me a shout, because I work with a very skilled systems person, and Jenny Vaz is coming in on our Mad Book project, along with Crystal Hill, who is our wonderful publisher. If you haven't already clocked that we are doing a multi-author book, come and be visible in that respect as well. Because when you have the credibility of holding your own book, this one's mine at the moment, Mad One comes out in August. It gives you that extra sense of and visibility, because whenever you go to meetings, you always have a couple of copies in your bag. You can do signed copies there and then for people. It makes you more visible. So the theme for today is visibility. Where, how consistently, when, with whom, what platforms. Who are you speaking to? When and how? Consistently. And are you testing and measuring? Because there's no point in putting it out at the same time every day if nobody's watching it and nobody's engaging with it. Be strategic, plan, promote, and speak to your people. That's what we've got for today. Oh, by the way, the information about the Mad Book, we close at 6 o'clock Eastern American time on Wednesday, 6 a.m. Australian Western Standard Time on Thursday for us here. Deets in the bottom. See you later. Bye from me. And we